Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of July 24, Wednesday. I'm Riza Diaz. In possession or in position, after President Duterte's fourth SONA, which included a lecture on the country's stance in dealing with China and the issues in the West Philippine Sea, this particular wordplay is now the subject of debate among policy experts and defense officials. Marian Enriquez tells us why.
In front of Chinese Ambassador Xiao Jinhua and other members of the diplomatic community, President Rodrigo Duterte stayed true to his promise that he would educate his critics on the West Philippine Sea issue in his fourth State of the Nation address. Duterte blamed former President Noynoy Aquino and Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario for losing Panatag Shoal and Panganiban Reef to China.
I cannot go there even to bring the Coast Guard to drive them away. China also claims the property and he is in possession. Yan ang problema. We are claiming the same, but we are not in the possession because of that fiasco. Noong dalawang nag-stand off doon during the time of my predecessor, tayo ang umatras. Nung umatras tayo, pumasok sila. Marami na. That day, we lost the Spratly and the Panganiban.
Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio disagrees with the president. Carpio said China is in possession of only 7 features in the Spratlys and the Scarborough Shoal, less than 7% of the West Philippine Sea. Defense analyst Jose Antonio Custodio seconded Carpio's statement.
Kalokohan yung sinasabi ni Duterte na China has possession of the West Philippines. Hindi totoo yan. Alam din ng in-check na wala silang kakayahan na gawin yun. Lalo na ngayon na ang sandatahan lakas ng in-check ay mahina pag kinumpara sa Amerikano at sa Hapon.
Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana and National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon clarified the statement of President Duterte. They said that what the president meant in his SONA was China is in possession but not in possession of the West Philippine Sea.
Nakaposisyon sila doon sa mga islands nila. But they're not in possession na pag-aari nila yung West Philippine Sea because we are also claiming it.
They have the positional advantage right now. And they have the equipment to enforce their position. So what is your answer there? Our response is to also strengthen our positions.
Lorenzana and Esperon supported Duterte's statement that he will not back down on our claim in the West Philippine Sea and that he will enforce the UN arbitration ruling discrediting China's 9-line claim. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
Here are the biggest stories from the dailies. The United States is calling on South China Sea claimant countries to avoid aggressive actions in the contested region following the series of China's show of force. The U.S. Coast Guard said that while America maintains presence in the heavily disputed waters, there is still a need to follow rules-based order to oppose the China's quote, gross manifestation in the South China Sea. The Philippines Star reports that the U.S. has turned over advanced naval ships to different claimants in the region, including the Philippines, to help make more frequent and longer patrols. U.S. says this could help in overseeing illegal, unregulated fishing within the EEZs. AFP Western Command Chief Cirilito Sobihana tells Filipino Star ngayon that 7 foreign terrorists have joined the Abu Sayyaf, the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters, and the Dawla Islamiyah terrorist group. Sobihana claims that 7 foreigners are teaching local terrorist groups how to make bombs. The Lieutenant General explained that these foreigners are actually members of the international terrorist group ISIS. However, the military official has refused to give the nationality of the 7 men but confirmed that they are staying in Western Mindanao and Maguindanao. Meanwhile, 42 other foreign terrorists are currently being monitored by the army for their possible connection to ISIS. And the Business World reports that inflation, or the rate of movement in the prices of basic goods, could further slow down below 2% in the second quarter. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas says this is due to the declining rice prices amid the ongoing harvest season and continued arrival of imports. Central bank officials also downplay the impact of a mild dry spell, saying it won't be enough to disrupt rice supply now that liberalized rice importation is in effect. Good news for motorists and commuters in the south. The C5 Southlink flyover is now open to the public, and authorities say this will cut a travel time from Parañaque to Taguig down to 3 minutes. Jared De La Peña gives us the details.
This flyover that crosses over the South Luzon Expressway going to Parañaque from C5 has just been opened to motorists. The 2.2-kilometer highway will allow motorists to cross South Luzon Expressway from C5 going to Merville. This will cut travel time to just 3 minutes from what used to be about 45 minutes, as motorists do not have to go to Sales Bridge just to be able to cross SLEX.
Yung traffic na dati na napupunta sa Sales dahil maraming taga Parañaque na dumadaan dito para makarating sa Fort Bonifacio or sa Taguig, ngayon po, since may dalawa ng options, luluwag yung Sales.
The flyover is just one segment of the Cavitex C5 Southlink project that will pass through C5 in Taguig to Merville and Sucat in Parañaque, C5 extension in Las Piñas, and up to the Cavite Expressway or Cavitex. Once completed in 2021, travel time between Taguig and Cavite will be just 10 minutes from more than an hour, making it easier for those coming from the south to go to the business districts of Bonifacio Global City and Makati. The Cavitex C5 Southlink project of Pangilinan-led Cavitex Infrastructure Corporation is just one of the many infrastructure projects under the administration's Build, Build, Build program. In his State of the Nation address, President Rodrigo Duterte gave orders to authorities to solve the country's traffic mess. And this project is expected to be one of the solutions to the problem that is already costing the country some 3.5 billion pesos in daily economic losses, according to the Japan International Cooperation Agency.
Kung meron kang dadaanan na ganito, yung mga nadaanan natin na trapiko kanina, mababawasan yon, maiibsan yon. So may kaluwagan na ibibigay.
Halfway through the Duterte administration, the DPWH says it has so far completed 50% of major road projects, while the Transportation Department has done about 35% of major rail, airport, and seaport projects. The DOTR official said it is confident it can partially operate the projects before Duterte steps down in 2022. And that is despite challenges involving budget and right-of-way acquisition.
Nagpanukala ang ating mahal na kalihim si Secretary Sani Dominguez ng catch-up plan. Okay? Na kung saan dapat palaguin at pabilisin yung tinatawag na actual disbursement. So may actual catch-up plan ho kami dyan para mapaigting yung mga proyekto.
For News 5, Gerard De La Peña, We Are One News.
Residents at an island in Quezon are going green as they now have the option of tapping solar power in going about their daily routines. Mim Santos has the story.
Meralco inaugurated a solar microgrid facility in Cagbalete Island, Quezon Province, designed to electrify the island community. The generating plant is designed to provide round-the-clock power to 200 households in a 1,795-hectare island. It features solar photovoltaic panels with battery and 2 diesel generators. A simultaneous switch-on ceremony was held at Cagbalete Island and at Bonifacio Global City.
We at Meralco are very proud of this moment to finally be involved in the electrification of an island community that is in need of light and power. And it is our commitment to ensure that all of the remaining 600 families in Cagbalete Island, plus all of the commercial establishments and resorts, will have power and light by the end of the year.
Meralco said they are hoping the microgrid will help develop the community and further encourage tourism in the island.
Cagbalete, we will complete the electrification by the end of the year, but there are 600 more families kasi to provide power and light. We want to finish Cagbalete to fully electrify Cagbalete Island.
Meralco said they are also looking at other far-flung areas where they can put up microgrids to help in rural electrification.
We plan also to bring these microgrid solutions outside of our franchise area so that we can also help the DOE and the government in providing electrification to other parts of the country.
Bim Santos, We Are One News.
Staying true to their commitment to sports broadcasting, TV5 and Cignal TV are set to bring you the official broadcast for the 30th Southeast Asian Games this November. Carlo Pamintuan will tell us more.
Continuing the investment in sports, Cignal TV and TV5 take a big step forward as they are now official broadcasters of the upcoming 30th Southeast Asian Games. This newest development was announced and sealed Tuesday afternoon at the Sofitel Philippine Plaza during the broadcast and media conference. With the 30th edition of the biennial meet all set to be the biggest in history, it was important for the organizing committee to choose partners that would help tell the stories of the athletes and reach as many viewers as possible. As Cignal TV and TV5 are both heavily invested in sports and pioneers in the airing of esports, the partnership was natural for FISGOC COO Ramon Suzara.
Yeah, we have been discussing esports as a unique sport that will be for the first time a medal sport in the SEA Games, first time in the world in a multi-sport event. And me and Jane are also working together to make this esports a very successful event. I hope we win the gold medals. There are only 6 events. We hope to get 4 gold medals. And now in Cignal as a very good partner for Philippine sports, especially for the SEA Games. So now today should be a historical one for Cignal, a media partner, broadcast partner, and soon of course with TV5 also. But again, I appreciate Jane Baco's leadership in Cignal and bringing sports closer to the families and to the audience of the season.
Representatives from Cignal TV and TV5 on the other end expressed their excitement to be a part of the upcoming games.
Well, first of all, we're very proud to be a partner of the SEA Games. As their tagline says, we win as one. So it was really a no-brainer for Cignal and TV5 to partner with the SEA Games for this coming 30th SEA Games in November. For Cignal, our plan is to have a pay-per-view channel, a SEA Games news channel, and of course our airing on our sports channel, One Sports.
We are excited to bring you the stories of the athletes competing in the upcoming games. And we thank the SEA Games for giving us the opportunity to do this.
Carlo Pamintuan, We Are One News.
Meanwhile, here are the stories to watch out for later today. The U.S. Defense Threat Reduction Agency, together with the Philippine Bureau of Fire Protection, National Police, and Army, will hold a joint activity to determine the Philippines' capability in responding to chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear incidents. Riders of motorcycle hailing app Angkas are set to air their sentiments over what they call an anti-poor policy of banning motorcycles along Skyway. And over at the PBA, suspense continues with 2 deciding games coming your way. At 4:30 p.m., it's the San Miguel Beermen squaring off with the second-seeded Northport Batang pair. Then at 7, TNT Catropa will try to bounce back against the Alaska Aces. Catch both games live on PBA Rush, beaming to you also from the Big Dome. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.